Hello again everyone, I'm Kwanzi, and today we invited Gunnar and Coolingen to talk to us about the FID journalists and the FID media in general. Hey guys.
Hello and welcome to my show.
Hey, hey.
Well, it seems Gunnar wants to take over the show, so Gunnar, talk to us. Tell us about your journalist character.
I have the character Simon Niva, and well, what's there to say? I
When
write
and why
mainly
created?
about. Sorry,
When and why do you create it?
I don't know when I created it, but I think I created it because I wanted to write lots of fake rumors, and I kind of made myself famous for writing a lot of incorrect rumors. And sometimes people give me fake rumors to write about, so I write about them. For example, that Patrik Lindqvist was going to Kickers or something. I don't even remember. Yeah, so that's why.
What about you, Coolingen? Why did you create your journalist character?
I created my character because, well, at the time I was very motivated to write. I have no idea why now, to be honest. No idea. But it was fun back then.
And then, like most journalists on FID, you guys stopped writing. Why is that? Coolingen, want to start?
No.
Okay, Mr. Host?
Why? There's nothing to write about. I mean, this season, Coolingen and I both write mainly about Swedish characters and the Swedish league. And this season, Fortuna won the league extremely early compared to the previous seasons. So about halfway into the season, there was really nothing that important or interesting to write about. So I think that's a big reason why. But of course, we could just keep on making up rumors and stuff. But after a while, it gets a bit old, and it's time for someone else to take over.
But still, Fortuna is not the only team in Sweden 1A. How come you didn't find interesting stuff to write about in the other 11 teams?
Well, I could write about Pesh and and Levski and whatever, but as I said, it gets old, and yeah, it's time for someone else. Maybe Coolingen has something to say.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mostly had stuff to write about in Kickers since I heard everything that happened in Kickers. There's only one manager who actually told me stuff to write about. That is Tommy Tombola in Svarta Stjärnan. He actually told me some stuff I could write about that happened in Svarta, so that made it more fun. But all the other teams are very closed, so you don't really get any inside rumors or anything.
Why don't you write about on the international press, worldwide press?
Because you need better rating for that.
Gunnar, why don't you?
Well, I know very little about the Swedish league, and I know almost nothing about the rest of the world. I couldn't name 3 American teams. I couldn't name 4 English teams. I mean, I have really no idea, so it's better not to write anything, really.
That's actually very true.
Yeah, I
You
barely
don't
know my
much
own
at all.
Well, you guys mentioned rating. Do you think journalists get too much rating in FID? Coolingen?
Well, I'm not sure, to be honest. I didn't really think about it. No, I don't have any good answer.
Gunnar, do you think journalists get just enough rating as much as you think they deserve?
That depends, There was one Spanish guy when Spain had won the World Cup in real life, so to speak. No, in real life. He just put a picture of Puyol or something, and he wrote something in Spanish in the world press, and he got lots and lots of thumbs up, and that's of course not okay. But on the other hand, journalist rating means virtually nothing, It's pointless. It doesn't add anything to the
It
game.
helps the user rating.
Yeah, but what's the user rating,
It helps in getting certain characters.
Oh, really?
At least I knew it did.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that might be true.
I actually, if 10 people search for a character that's open on the market for the country, the one with the highest rating gets the character. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked if you think journalists get too much rating boost.
Well, then definitely yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we should probably remove journalist ratings, but I can see the incentive because if you write articles, I mean, it's not the most fun job in football identity, and if you write articles, people will read it, and it adds that little bit of extra enjoyment,
Fun.
and realism to the game. So I can certainly see the incentive, but yeah, journalists get way too high ratings. Maybe they could put a cap on the rating for journalists or something, because I've only written 24 articles by now, and I have 874 journalist rating, and that's ridiculous. Yeah, and it gets even faster when you reach the world press, because more people will read it, and yeah, it's too
Exactly.
easy.
Yeah. So let's go on a bit. Let's talk about the general feed media. Like we have Facebook, we have different radios for feed, we have separate news sites, an internal newspaper system which we all know about. The Feedipedia was relaunched 2 or 3 days ago. But still, something seems to be missing in feed media. Do you guys agree? Is there room for improvement? Kulish?
I don't know. Yes, of course, something is missing, probably. Yeah, but the only thing I got on top of my head would be competition between two magazines. Like I know me and Gunnar, we created Aftonblaskan, which is like a fun paper. Like in Sweden, we have Aftonbladet, and they write a lot of bullshit. So we call them Aftonblaskan, so we created them, etc. But no one else created any other magazine, so we could have a little competition with the latest news, etc. That might be one idea.
Mm-hmm. Gunnar, what do you think could improve the media in feed?
I agree with Coolingen. The idea with having newspapers is a very good idea, I think, and they could work basically like football teams, but for journalists. And yeah, but missing, I wouldn't say that. Never mind. I don't know. Yeah, I want to see newspapers.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about Facebook? Do you think it's a useful tool for feed?
Yeah, I do actually. Mostly since
Let's
I'm in control of Football Identity Sweden. Unfortunately, I think it's like 39 persons who likes it, so it's not the biggest football identity site on Facebook. But if a lot of people like this like smaller football identity sites on Facebook, it can be very useful.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed, and I've seen many teams having team sites on Facebook and whatnot. Uh, Hopefully, if more people start using it, it's gonna become larger and larger, easier. Also, the feed radios. I think Brazilian people started a radio show once. I'm not sure if it's still going on. I think P2 did it. And then Sin's radio show, of course, which is it's a good thing for feed, in my opinion. I don't know. Why do you think more people don't start it? I think in Romania, yeah, we had 2 radios. One of them, well, they're both dead now. Why do you think more people don't do that, radio shows? Gunnar, still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Well, it takes a lot of effort. I mean, you're conducting these interviews, and that's a great thing. But having a live radio show, I think that's a lot of work. As you can see, I mean, I have to give props to Sin for doing it, but there's a lot of music, and it's mostly him talking. So
Mostly what?
it's mostly just Sin talking, and not that much bringing other people in. Well, he brings people in to the show, but it's mostly his voice all the time, and then some hardcore music. So it's a difficult task. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's true. I don't disagree there. Coolingen, What do you think about feed radios?
I think it's a very good idea, and I like to listen to them sometimes when, well, I think I've missed 2 or 3 live, but I listen to them afterwards, and I like them, to be honest. It's fun, really fun to hear about the American League. Yeah, very fun. But
Okay.
the reason I think it dies for Romania and for Brazil, if that's, or maybe that's still going on, I don't know. I don't think the hosters really feel they gain anything on it, and maybe the fun gets away after a couple of shows. I don't know. That's what happened to me with my writing. It was fun for a couple of articles. Then it was like, ugh.
Well, there's another thing that the people don't get involved and come up with ideas to improve or to change or to, I don't know, to evolve. Because people, it's easier to criticize and not give a reason for it and just
Yeah.
say, oh, you suck. And people did it
Yeah, exactly.
in every part of, in journalists and whatnot. And if, I don't know, I don't say don't criticize, but just state a way to improve and to get better, because everyone needs a challenge, even journalists.
Yeah, exactly. They should, instead of just saying, damn Sin, you suck, tell him what he can do better,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Show
he
up
should have
with ideas.
Yes,
Say what
exactly.
you want to hear. Don't say that I don't want to hear that. Say I want to hear that other thing.